Hello explorers and welcome back to the Feywilds. Hopefully the microphone is a little bit better now. Hopefully, maybe, slightly, as I slowly adjust this thing into position. How are you all doing? Hello, hello. Let me see who's here. Oh no, can I see who's here? Oh, I can. Okay, cool. Hello. Oh no, chat. Slightly. Oh baby. I don't know, this might be one of those things where the audio is just different and then everyone's gonna have to get used to it. I have no idea who's here. Hello Ifany. Hello Reggie. Hello Komodo, Snowy, Maple. I'm just going through the list. Ico, Exus, Caden, Kenshi, Mark, who am I missing? I'm just going through everybody. I don't even know if they're here or not. I'm just going through because I can't see who's here. Thanks for stopping by. How's everybody doing today? We're waiting for everything getting ready to go here. Oh, and Mizla. Hello, Mizla. How you doing, Mizla? Thanks for stopping by. I saw what you posted. That's hilarious. The what was it? The Final Fantasy VII, the little scooters. That was hilarious. I love that. That was perfect. Sephiroth be Juven. He'd be schmoovin'. He's got to be cool, man. He's got to have the longest scooter. I need to get on that meme. That's a good meme. I loved it when I saw it in the trailer. It was just perfection. I think we're all stuck in jail. Yeah, okay, so in Tales of Apocrypha, we're all stuck in jail. Oh, baby. Well, not all of us. Arca, I think. Arca, his brother, and the new pirate friend that Arca made. They're gonna have to get us out of jail. We found Gwen, though. Gwen and Sturkin. They're also in prison. Taffy may murder somebody today. How's Arca the one with all the buddies? Well, Arca's brother went and found him. We haven't figured out how Arca's brother, little baby brother, got all the way over to Valgard. Because, like, Arca's from another continent like Taffy is. Yeah, okay. And then the pirate... Alright, the pirate adopted Arca. You're the snake oil salesman. Listen, I was. A lot's happened. Arca has like 5 times the friends. We haven't gotten to my guild yet. Listen, oh, that's right. Listen, all my friends keep getting either killed or like kidnapped, trafficked. Samoya got put into trafficking when we got captured and thrown in jail. She got whisked away to like Slave Central somewhere. So that's not great. Gwen turned out to be a bad boy. Sturkin was also a bad guy. Listen, all my friends are over on the other continent, alright? That's just a side quest. Gotta save my girlfriend, damn it. Taffy's gotta go get his girlfriend. Gotta save her from, like, puppy trafficking. That's not good. That's not okay. I'm having a bad time. Taffy was trying his hardest to make friends. But he just, he needed to sit down with Arca and learn how to make friends who don't get plotted. Listen, Arca just has friends show up, alright? Arca's a cool, good dude, alright? Listen, who doesn't want to be friends with the barbarian? It's a lot harder to be friends with the car salesman. And... Arca just has that barbarian charisma. Like you don't mess with the barbarian. No one cares about the thief, right? He's just over there being shady as all hell. As you do. Taffy do need to find, like, everyone in the party keeps dying or turning evil. This isn't good. Taffy's been through a lot in the last like month and a half. Is it a month and a half? It's been at least a month. Poor, there's Taffy's gonna need therapy. Dead Cells Palace. Are you playing Dead Cells? Oh man. Hello, Snowy. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I'll be new home. Echoey. And I need sound paneling. I may just get a new, like, face speaking device. I think this one's not as holding up as well. Look, everyone just needs a good old round of shopping at Rickon's Potion Emporium. Yeah, see, where are you, Rickon? See, all my friends are on the. Listen, when we get to my continent, I'll have plenty of friends. All right, there's so many friends. That's what I want to know. Listen, don't worry. Don't worry, you all show up. Wow, Echo. Yeah, I'm trying to like not scream into the void over here. I'm sitting like a good half a foot away from everything. Yeah, listen, my entire existence is on another continent. Don't worry, once we get across the ocean, it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be a good time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. A bird to show up out of nowhere. Having a wagon I live in. Yeah, see, I know. That's what I'm saying. Listen, once we get to the other continent, it'll be a good time. There's a whole ass ocean. Cause you know how it is. We're in like tutorial land. This is the prologue that we're still in. This is that, like, what is it, chapter 1? How many levels? I think we're level 8. I don't remember what level I am. I'll pull it up when we swap on over. Oh baby, I think we're ready. Oh, by the way, what is it? Token stamp? I can't remember. If you have a character, I think Reggie, yeah, you wanted a character. Make sure you make your token. Minimum chapter like 5. That's tutorial land. No, it's like chapter 1. It's just an extended chapter 1. Don't worry, we're gonna hit level 10 and then we're gonna be level 10 forever. Paranormal backstory. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I forget, it's somewhere in the announcement channel if you search for it. Yeah, if you want a character, make sure you make Tolkien. It's in the announcement channel somewhere. Okay, we're good. We're ready. So we're gonna swap on over, and I'm gonna lose my mind because I can't read chat. Okay, here we go. Get the catch up, the lowdown. If I hit the red button. There we go. That's the right button.
The timing.
Honestly.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Oh. I feel like I missed something here.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing good.
We doing.
Nice. Yeah, well then, welcome back everyone to another session of Tales of the Apocrypha. It's been a long week to get to the Saturday, as always. But thank you all, we got the whole gang here, it's fantastic.
Hell yeah.
And thank you to everyone in chat, of course, for always coming to join us. We appreciate you being here.
We do.
Yeah, then I guess before we get started, did anyone have, I don't know, any fun announcements, anything they want to share before we get into the session for tonight?
I'm about to eat a box out of a window. I'm tired of boxes.
You know, mood, honestly.
So valid.
Yeah.
Moving sucks.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
It's okay. I
mean,
have made it through box hell.
Nice.
Hell.
I mean, Bela and I did that a few times when we moved because we're on the 3rd floor, so he would just throw the boxes down to me on the ground from our balcony.
Nice.
So there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was fantastic.
You won Minecraft.
You won Minecraft.
What?
Perfect.
You're clearing boxes. That's the whole point, right? I've never actually played
Oh,
Minecraft.
Yeah,
the general idea.
Yeah, that's definitely God. Excellent. All right. Well, then I guess we'll get into the session for this evening. To then kind of recap from last week, we started off the session. I forget which group we started with, but we started with Narcellus being hauled off to prison after exploding a guard post in the city with a fireball, killing 3 guards, and killing a 4th one as they attempted to apprehend him. With Resh hiding in his shadow, the 2 are thrown into prison, where, as coincidence would have it, he was placed in the same cell as Faldvin, who's, looking a little worse for wear, having been in this cell now for the month since the party has been gone from Valgard, along with a little goblin off in the corner who mostly kind of keeps to himself at first. And, Narcellus and Faldvin and Resh as well kind of go at it with one another, as, Narcellus very understandably is upset and angry with Faldvin, and Faldvin feels rather guilty over the whole situation he's put everyone in.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
As you should.
I'm pretty sure Narcellus hit him at some point. It was great.
Correct. Yeah.
Probably should do it again. Meanwhile, out in the city, Yulia, Taffy, Yavari, and Runarian, oh god, I was gonna say, where the hell was Arca?
Saving our asses.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, meanwhile, elsewhere in the city, we had Yulia, Yavari, Taffy, and Runarian decided to go check in and see if the party had pretty much any remaining allies within the city. And so Yulia first took them over to the bakery, where her old friends Mira and Briagi once lived, only to find out that Briagi had been taken by the Valgard militia due to their affiliation with Yulia, who, like the rest of the party, had been accused of murdering the queen, and is presumed dead. And so upon, part of this party entering her bakery, Mira seemed amicable at first, if a little upset. But as soon as they all tried to leave, they were ambushed by at least half a dozen guards, if not a few more. Where Yavari, attempting to rescue them or cause some sort of distraction, lighting some of them on fire, she was killed after taking 2 crossbow bolts to the chest.
So fun.
And with her dying breath, passed on to Yulia to hunt down the Catan house, the people responsible for murdering her parents. And the 3 of them, then remaining, found themselves arrested and also brought to prison, where Narcellus and the rest are. And meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Arca and Yalkish, having been separated from Aoife in the chaos after Narcellus's fireball display, happened to run into Arca's younger brother, Kavi, in the city, who was looking for Arca for some reason. And who is now kind of tagged along with the 2 of them as they begin wondering what to do to rescue their friends from prison. And
Poof.
Oh, Boofa bark.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you're good. You're good. And as Arca brought the two towards Robert's house, an old friend of his here in the city, they ran into a half-Triton man, apparently being harassed by a guard, and after managing to keep the guy from getting arrested, Arca drags the half-Triton along with him, as he realizes that they need allies in these very turbulent times here within the city. And that's almost about where we're gonna start. Other than as Yulia and Taffy and Ari are brought into jail, with Ari being dumped in the same cell with his father and the others, Yulia and Taffy find themselves sharing a cell with two men. Familiar men, for that matter. One of them being Gwen, the old Padlock Guild contact that had seemingly sold Taffy and his friends out. And the other guy in the cell being Sturkin himself, the man who, in many of the party's eyes, kind of started this whole mess. And Taffy and Yulia were quick to respond with aiming threats and threatening violence at the two, as the other 5 in the adjacent cell try to make some sort of plan to get the hell out of here. And I think that's about where we're going to start. Let's see here. We'll go ahead. We'll start in the prison. I need it to not be this happy music. Fantastic.
Oh man.
We're all so happy to be here.
Just
We're all happy and ready.
Yeah, it's just fantastic, you know? Yeah, it's good. Okay. So, I believe last we left off, Taffy, you had Gwen pinned to the wall. Whereas Yulia, you currently have your claws wrapped around Sturkin's neck, about threatening to strangle the man before you. I'd like you both to just roll a d20 for me.
Oh boy. Actually, I think I'd let him go because Narshella found out Yavari died, and he said something to her, and she let go with him to talk with him, and then she would turn him back to him.
Okay, fair enough. So you have at least released the man. Oh boy.
Yeah.
almost
That
one.
almost that one.
I know. I was like, man.
Boy. All right, so Yulia, we'll start with you. As you have released Sturkin's neck and he gasps in this breath of air, you know, kind of rising up onto his feet so he's at least on somewhat level ground with you. He's, you know, rubbing at his neck where you had held him, and he's looking at you with narrowed eyes from beneath this mess of black hair on the top of his head. And he'll just say, God, didn't think I'd see all of you again.
Yeah? Did you think that that we were just gonna, you know, take the whole wanted thing lying down, that we weren't actually gonna do something about it, and you would actually get away with it?
Honestly, thought y'all would end up dead.
Yeah. Well, that was your first mistake.
Well, looks like we're all gonna die anyways.
Taffy lets out a slow exhale. I don't know if this was the turn order. If I can.
I'll say, well, I'll get to you in just a minute, because
Okay,
I just kind of want to. I want to let you both kind of have like your moments with these NPCs, since they have been like integral to your stories. So I will get to you, I promise.
Okay. So
But
you'll always say, so if we're gonna, and they'll hold up like both hands and like do like the quote unquote gesture. If we're really gonna die, what was it, Sirkin? Was it gold? Was it just greed? Do you have some vendetta against the royal family? What is it? What was all of this for? What was so worth it that you thought this was a grand idea?
he just scoffs and scowls at you as he just says, as if I have to explain myself to you. What does it matter?
Well, I mean, you went through all this trouble acquiring poison, plotting, deaths, trying to, thinking, setting up a whole ploy to pull in adventurers to join you on this. That's a lot for something like this. So really, tell me, I am genuinely curious.
I've got my reasons. You don't need to know them.
I think I have a pretty good idea.
Are you saying that in character or out of character?
No, in character, yeah.
Oh.
He hasn't said anything yet. He just sort of side glanced because he's dealing with Gwen right now. He's
Yeah.
angrier at Gwen than he is at Sturkin.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. Nah. Yeah, Sturkin kind of remains silent for right now, just kind of glaring you down, Yulia. If there's anything you would like to say or do.
I am trying to think of how she would do this next.
Uh-oh.
Otherwise, I'll kind of give you a moment. I'll switch over to Taffy here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as Yulia is kind of having this show off with Sturkin, stare down, Taffy, you have Gwen pinned up against the wall. He, from when you guys first came into the cell, he was already kind of covered in like cuts and bruises, looking like he'd recently gotten beaten up by someone, and looking at you now as you kind of like loom over him almost. He looks pretty genuinely scared.
As he should be. So we got him up on the wall, and Taffy's he's kind of like vibrating, a little shaky. He's a little shaky, and sort of through gritted teeth. He continues from where he left off with Gwen. Now that after the shock of, oh man, that's Starkin over there. But he goes on to say, all right, Gwen, you'll get your justice. But before then, I need to know. Did you work alone? Who else is involved? Because I need to make sure I worm all of this corruption out of my guild.
And Gwen just like quickly shakes his head. No, Taffy, really, it was me. Don't worry about the rest of the Bad Luck Guild. I'm sorry. I needed the money. It's hard being just an informant out here in Drake Mound. I got no other job, and the money was good.
Then you should have asked for help, not start a war. I'm gonna roll an insight to make sure he's telling me the truth real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
Insight. Oh baby, I'm gonna just suck this up. Here we go. Oh.
Oh.
boy.
Oh.
You know all.
Yeah, you have kind of the upper hand here, or at least you feel like you do. You're very angry, you're frustrated with this guy, and you're staring him down, and it's almost to the point where his fear is almost palpable in the air, And as he speaks and insists that he was alone, that he did it for the money, you can't see like a trace of a lie on this guy. Like, he is absolutely telling you the truth.
Okay. So Taffy kind of actually, after he studies, squints his eyes, his pupils are like, full on cat mode. He stares into this dude's very soul. But after he sees this, Gwen stumble over his words, trying to just in the raw, fearful state he's in, he's telling the truth. He can't detect any lies, and he kind of sighs, almost as if he just like this weight that was on him has evaporated. Like whatever, something that he was deathly afraid of is now gone, and he's like, all right. That's good. At least we don't have to worry about more of you. But, mark my words, Gwen. You are going to fix this. You're going to repay for every ounce of blood you helped spill. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get back to Abidos to see Lee, and yeah.
Who's Lee?
And he kind of seems a little nervous to answer that question. He says, "This guy I was seeing while I was in Abidos before I got sent out here. I love him, okay? And I just wanted to get back to see him, and it's been almost a year."
So his tail kind of flicks around. His grip softens slightly. And he continues on. All right. Here's what's going to happen, Gwen. You're going to do exactly what I say. You're going to do exactly when I say it. And so help me, to Neferu's smiting lightning, if you so much as step a foot out of line, I will put you into the dirt myself. Do you understand me?
He nods his head very vigorously. Yeah, of course, Taffy, of course.
What's going on here has spiraled so far out of control. And we're going to do what we can to fix it. Do you understand? And when I say we, I mean we.
Yes, yeah, I will. I'll help. Okay, I'll help.
And he once again, and then he pushes him back up against the wall, and he grabs the scruff of his neck just to hammer it home. And he's like, "I'm not joking around here, Gwen. If you try to run, if you try and sell us out, if you stab us in the back, if you do anything that puts me or my companions in any type of danger, I will hunt you down, and I will kill you."
And he's got like his hands up and everything. You can see at this point Gwen is like trembling a little bit as he says, Please, Taffy, okay, I will do whatever you want. All right, I will help you and your friends. All right, I just want to get back to Abidos. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to get this bad.
Fine. Just remember, your every breath from this moment on, for every second you are alive, is a gift from me, is a mercy granted by me. Do not forget this. And he kind of pushes off of him, and just kind of backs up, back into the cell. Lets a long breath, sort of squinting at him, and then he turns to Sturkin. If you want me to stop, let somebody else do something. Let me know.
Yeah, I will go ahead and have you stop there as,
Okay.
as you finally release Gwen, he just kind of slides his back down the wall and just sits on the floor, just becoming very quiet. And, so Yulia, as so far, Sturkin has been rather unwilling to work with you so far. And at this point now, you two are kind of staring each other down for a moment. Is there anything else you'd like to say or do to him as you hear Taffy and Gwen going back and forth in the background?
Hearing the conversation between Gwen and Taffy, that does kind of change her tactics a little bit, because she's very in the moment right now. She lost she found eventually one friend died, and then she had another friend lost in front of her. So she's not quite thinking clearly, but that kind of brought her back a little bit. And he's on the ground, right? Or is he standing up?
Sturkin is standing up at this point. Yeah.
Okay. So she's been kind of just glaring at him, like trying to figure out, like, if she can get him to talk at all. So after all that happened over there, she just kind of lets out a sigh, and her face softens to him, and she takes like just a tentative step closer and just looks at him, and she just starts, look, I understand that there's always two stories. The one that we want everyone else to see, and the one that we keep close. So I really want to give you one more chance to at least explain your story in this grand scheme of things. Is this really what you want to be known as? Don't you want someone to understand why you did what you did?
Roll persuasion for me.
Oh, okay. Dice gods, don't
Dice
fail me
God.
now.
Remember, anima shard. If you feel you need your anima shard, just your session
Uh,
reminder.
Also, quietly though, only because I don't want to TPK later. You might want to save it.
Okay. Also, okay. There's your.
Persuasion is based on my charisma, and I have a lot of charisma, so
Okay.
I should be
Yeah.
fine. I might eat my words.
Oh,
Wait, did I roll advantage by accident?
yeah, or
Oh,
rolled with disadvantage for some reason.
oh, I don't know how that happened. Do you want me to roll again, or?
I'll take the 14. It's fine,
Okay.
since that was your first roll there. So you say all this to Starkin, trying to get something out of this guy. And he just looks at you, continuing to just have this furrowed brow, as his eyes like pierce into yours almost. And he'll just say, you know what? Maybe I want to be known as the bad guy. What does it matter whether you know my story or not? We're all about to be dead. What, will it put your soul at ease in the afterlife, kid?
Oh, it's not my soul I'm really concerned with.
This dude is not helping his case, man.
But if you really, really just want to be known as the bad guy, then how about I give you a taste of what you might actually deserve? And she kind of takes a breath, and you just hear in a sing-song voice, no more running. And she is going to cast Phantasmal Force on him. I will put it
Oh, whoa.
in the chat. Oops. Oh, wrong one.
Oh,
I clicked the wrong one.
that's fine.
So she's gonna make him see shit.
Okay.
Oh, it's a chunky spell.
Yeah, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just like,
So
I'm just reading through it.
I did read it over, and I think this aligns with what I was wanting to do.
Okay.
Dang, root in the mind of the creature.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so Taffy, as well as all the rest of you in the other cell, Narshellis, Vrek, Resh, Faldvin, Runarian, you can very clearly hear both Taffy and Yulia kind of interrogating these guys in the adjacent cell. And you hear Yulia's voice now begin to pick up in this sing-song tone as she begins to recite a song that you've never heard before, directed now at Sturkin. And it's a very haunting sort of song that, listening to the lyrics, kind of gives you all like this chill down your spine. And as Yulia, as you cast Phantasmal Force upon Sturkin, and I'm just gonna say he fails the saving throw because fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Because this is just a great moment. You see his eyes suddenly widen as he's looking at you. The anger and frustration gone from his face, replaced now with uncertainty and fear and terror. As his face begins to turn this pale white color, and he just lets out this sudden, almost blood-curdling scream as he backs away from you and presses himself into a corner of the cell, like scrabbling at the walls as if trying to find some way to get away from you or whatever it is you have conjured for him to see. Even you're not sure exactly what he's seeing, other than it's terrifying to him in this moment. But you continue singing. You keep up the spell as you stare him down. In the adjacent cell, Narcellis, as soon as you hear Yulia's voice, and as you hear Sturkin begin screaming and shouting, you see to your side Runarian immediately tenses up. And he gets this very distant look in his eyes, as if he's suddenly not here.
He's having flashbacks.
So, Narcellis, his whole body kind of tenses up. Because there's... With the sing-songy, cloying sweetness, I'm assuming that's in Yulia's voice. I don't want to God mode here. Yulia?
No, it's about what Starion described. It's it turns into something
I mean, like, what is the emotion in their voice?
It's very haunting, and it's kind of more somber. Like she's not happy about doing this. This is very much a almost cathartic moment for her of letting out emotion. So it sounds somber. She's usually no more to sing high pitch. This is like in a deeper tone.
So his body kind of tenses up, and he'll look over towards that cell for a really long moment, and like his eyes, which were previously kind of just trained on whoever happened to be in the cell at the moment, mainly on Taffy with Gwen, go wide. And the shrieking coming from Sturkin has him running his hands up through his hair, and he'll turn towards Ari and look at him, and knowing the history between Ari and his sister, he will reach out very suddenly and grab Ari by like his head and press the palms of his hands over Ari's ears and kind of pull him down a little bit.
Aww.
And as you do this, Ari like blinks and seems to kind of focus in on you. And it's hard to read the expression on his face, but you see he reaches his own hands up and does the same to you as he rests his hands over your own ears, as he seems to be able to tell that you, Narcellis, are also kind of struggling at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't say anything for right now.
Narcellis just kind of, I will say, mouths like the words like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Vrek. You're in the cell with the 4 elves at the moment. As
Pointy-eared
you
cell.
Yeah, for real. As you hear and partially see what's going on in the other cell, what are you doing? You know, what is your reaction kind of to the situation going on?
Breck's immediate, just visceral reaction is to think how fucking intense these guys are. um, but he's just taking a look at everybody, and he's not sure where to start. Um, hmm. Give me 1 second. I'm thinking about what he would do. Because
Yeah,
there's a lot to address at this exact moment in time.
there really is. I mean, to kind of, I guess, give you an idea of what's going on in the cell, other than kind of, you see Narcellis and Ari are like holding each other's heads, basically, almost like forehead to forehead at this point. You'll see Resh, the tall, red-haired drow, is standing close to Narcellis, but his eyes are on the adjacent cell, very narrow, his shoulders tent. And Faldvin, who's been mostly seated during this point, is looking over at the other cell with, what's the word I'm looking for? With concern and slight trepidation in his eyes, like he's looking very warily at what's going on.
Breck, looking at this, like, kind of, I don't want to say intimate, that's like too deep of a word, but I guess it is kind of like an intimate moment between friends. Turns his head away from the scene because he feels like he's kind of invading on whatever is happening in this cell. And looks over towards Yulia and Taffy's cell, and his eyes just go wide as Yulia does her little serial killer song.
That's a
And,
killer song.
and kind of like messes this random stranger up. Goes, wow. I wasn't expecting that. I'm not out of character. I'm really not sure what he would do per se at this exact moment in time.
I mean, that it's completely fair for him to be kind of a little too shocked to really have a proper response. So that's fair. Taffy.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll come over to you. How are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing? What's Taffy doing?
So he's recomposing himself. He's getting ready to deal with Starkin, and this whole conversation's going on. And then Yulia starts singing, and Taffy's very inexperienced with like magic, because he doesn't know how. He just magic happens, right? Just crazy stuff happens all the time. So he doesn't really know at first that it's a spell. It's just like, why are you singing? So he just kind of looks confused at Yulia for a second, and then he starts to hear the screaming, and then he looks over at Starkin, who's just freaking out over there against the wall, and then Taffy gets a little concerned. It takes him a second, but he puts 2 and 2 together, and he looks between Yulia and Starkin. He sort of he lets this goes on for a few seconds. He doesn't think to look in the other cell at the moment, and he kind of whispers towards Yulia. It's like, what? Are you doing that? he okay?
Julia isn't responding because she is holding
Singing.
focus on because it's two parts. Like she's very much improving this song right now, so she's just kind of letting. It's almost like stream of consciousness a little bit at the same time, like kind of just throwing out lines and also maintaining focus on this imagery that she's making him see.
Trying to get the guards to come in here.
Yeah.
Trying to get us in even more trouble.
So he goes and he after she doesn't respond to him, he's like, okay, well, she's clearly concentrating on what she's doing. He'll start to kind of get closer to Sturkin. He's a little apprehensive at first. You see, I don't know if Sturkin even sees him.
He doesn't seem to register that you're there. He's just looking towards Yulia with this look of terror on his face.
So, after this goes on for we'll say about 10 seconds, it's the screaming is getting a little much for Taffy. He's like, okay, I think you got the point. He kind of he's about halfway between Yulia and Sturkin. What he does is okay, well, first, after he says, I think he's got the point, does Yulia still respond? Do you keep continuing on?
So I did write out actual lyrics of what you was thinking. So it's like they start off the same, but then clearly they're different lines, and then you kind of hear what should be the end. She just kind of says, "No running, no running, no running." But it kind of turns into a bit of a trance. Like she's lost a little bit of her hold on it, and it's monotonously repeating this, "No running, no running."
Okay. So at that
real quick, if it's okay, Taffy.
No, you're fine. You're good. You can go.
Narcellis kind of pulls Ari closer, and I don't expect it to stop Yulia, but sort of pulling his head further down onto his shoulder, he's going to whip his head toward the other cell, and he will yell, "Stop it!"
And she stops. That snaps her out, and she kind of jerks back like she got slapped in the face.
And as soon as you stop singing, Sturkin quiets, still looking scared, confused, and looking nervously around, his gaze flicking every which way as he just kind of cowers there in the corner of the cell.
And Yulia is she's heavily breathing because that took quite a bit more anima than she really expected to use. So she takes a couple of breaths and she says, "Are you sure you want to be remembered as the bad guy now? Because if you really plan on dying here, that is what you can expect on the other side. The vengeance of every person you have fucked over with this scheme."
And Sturkin just looks up at you, Yulia, as you say these words, and you see that he, mixed in with the fear, is this look of upset. As his face is red from screaming, his eyes looking almost bloodshot. And you just hear him in this very kind of broken voice will just say, I just saw my son.
You're what?
He was was only 8 when those drow came. And
that's
he
when
just
Taffy realizes what just happened.
yes, Yulia, you kind of get the inclination that Sturkin may have been reliving a moment from his past. With what he says, kind of the idea you get is that he had lost his son in a drow raid when his son was only 8 years old.
God damn it.
Ah.
Oh.
See? Y'all are,
This is why we
you're
don't
very...
torture people.
Oh,
I should know. And now we do. Well, I guess Taffy knew.
it tortured people in their cells. And, it...
Look, I get it. Well, maybe I don't fully understand what it's like to lose a child. But as a parent, was it really worth creating that same scenario for more people? For more parents to lose their children? For parents to lose their children in another war? Is it really worth it?
And that fear on his face kind of turns back into this look of anger as he grits his teeth, and he'll say, you don't understand what it's like to lose your son and my wife. So you know what? Yeah, it was worth it. Getting back at the damn drow that took my family from me. If this world burns because of it, so be it.
Taffy kind of shoots a side glance to Starkin, and just sort of spits out a that may be, but all you've really done is just perpetuate the same situation you've been on others.
To that, Sturkin doesn't seem to have a response as he just looks away from the both of you and just kind of stays there in the corner.
Taffy will kind of put himself between Yulia and Starkin, kind of walk up to Yulia, kind of put a hand on her shoulder and sort of whisper, sort of hushed, but he's like, I think we just don't need to worry about him. All right, he's not really worth it. We'll just leave him in here if he wants to rot so badly. But we need to worry about trying to get ourselves out of here as opposed to trying to make it worse for ourselves. If we start killing people in here, they could escalate or put us in somewhere harder to get out of. Trust me, I know.
And
Wanna.
okay.
It's hard. I really. As badly as I wanna enact some kind of justice on certain people in here, as he'll kind of motion his head towards Gwen. It's not gonna get us anywhere.
And she looks up at Taffy, meets his eye, and she just nods slowly and says, "You're right." And clearly, he's made his own grave. And there's nothing more we can do. I'm done with him.
Taffy is noticeably nervous because he didn't know singing could do that. His tail's a little. He's got the floofy tail, the fizzy tail. He's he after that he just kind of like start sort of pacing around. He'll occasionally glance over at Sturkin and Gwen to make sure they don't do anything. But at this point, yeah, he's doing a think.
Mm-hmm.
He's processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yes.
Narcellis, after a minute, is going to kind of let go of Ari's ears, but he's still going to have like his hands on the top of his head. And he's just going to go, Taffy.
Taffy spins around and then kind of swiftly moves over to the gate to look into the other cell. It's like, Marcellus, are you okay? By the way, sorry, I got a little preoccupied.
Don't worry about it. I did a bad thing. Okay, it wasn't a bad thing. I'm not sorry. Anyway, and he'll pause and think. So I have a question. Did they take all of our stuff off of us, or just our weapons? Like, would we still have like trinkets?
They probably took most of your stuff, definitely like your weapons, like Yulia's loot, anything that they perceived could be a weapon. What are you hoping to have on you?
It's more what I'm hoping Taffy has on him.
Yeah,
What-
it's gonna be the
Okay. What are you hoping Taffy has on him?
He's going to ask, do you still have that little bottle with the gelatinous cube in it?
Okay, so the question is like, do I still have what have they taken off of me? Have they taken my robe? Have they taken my like conga line of stuff that I've managed to just klepto in my
So, you kind of begin patting yourself down, Taffy, as you try to search for anything that's still on your person, or possibly the little bottle with the piece of the gelatinous cube in it. And then just to kind of address Narcellis, as you lower your hands down from Ari's ears, he doesn't move at the moment. But he just has his hands like kind of on your shoulders, with like his face kind of buried into one at the moment. And you'll just kind of hear him just quietly say, like, quietly apologize.
Oh.
And
Narcellis will just say, wait, shut up, it's not your fault.
and he'll just be quiet for the moment. And Taffy, you kind of pat one of your pockets. You reach in the other one, and you feel there's something round in there, and you pull it out. And sure enough, it is your little glass bottle with the little gelatinous cube in it. You see, at this point, it's kind of reformed into like its cube shape. It's not big enough to take up the entire bottle, but it's just kind of wiggling around in there as you pull it out of your pocket.
He can't help himself. He just has the stupidest grin just creep across his face as he just holds and slightly shakes it, wiggles it in his fingers as he shows it to Marcellus.
Oh, Puddin's okay. Okay, good.
Oh my god.
Any chance you could find something in your cell to like slosh it around and get a little bit of it again to put in the lock?
Absolutely.
I can't believe I remembered this stupid gelatinous cube named Pudding.
Because Pudding's the best. I love Pudding. So yes, I will look around for like, sticks, leaves, general organic materials.
Now, I do have an idea.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm all ears.
I can't cast magic outside of the cell, but I can cast it inside. If I polymorph Ari, he may be able to get outside, but that doesn't really do much for us on the inside, and God knows how long Puddin's going to take to melt through a lock. So, what if, and hear me out, you, little goblin. He'll turn towards Breck. Breck.
You there, Breck?
Eliza?
Breck. Vrek. There we go. Brick.
Break.
Uh, oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe they're having computer issues.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Hello, there you are.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry. So yeah, they turn towards Vrek.
What? What you need?
This is gonna be a really scary question for me to ask you, but I need you to come here. I need you kind of like squats down to his level.
Okay. Freck is gonna take a tentative step back as Nershell squats in front of him.
I'm not going to eat you.
That wasn't my concern.
Hear me out. Rush, you can hide in my shadow, right?
And Resh will just give a nod. Of course.
So, Taffy, what if I polymorph Ari out of here? You guys try to melt the lock. But we still have to take care of the guards that are on he's saying this quietly. He's like, we still have to take care of the guards at the other end of this hallway. So, what if Rush hides in my shadow? And then, because Mr. Faldvin here is the star of the apparent coronation, what if the goblin and I cause a scene by beating him up?
Okay. And then if we can get the lock open, then can jump the guards?
Yes, Rush can come out and, I don't know, do a little stabby stab.
Taffy tenses up a
mean-
little bit, but he doesn't object to the stabby stab. He looks a little uncomfortable with it, but he's not gonna object at this point.
I'm down.
You're okay with beating up an elf, General?
General Faldvin, is it?
Baldwin just kind of sighs as Narcellis, if you kind of went to go deal with Wreck, you see Faldwin had like approached our
Uh-oh. Thank you, Discord. I appreciate you crashing on me. Give me a minute. Thanks, Discord.
Oh, hello.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
there
his
we
stream
go.
didn't fail.
Yeah, just the life of Scuff over here. There we go.
It's all good.
Hello?
Hello
I'm
again.
back. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay.
And so as you address Faldwin, Wreck, he'll just say, it's just Faldwin now, not General, but that's fine. Little surprised his screaming didn't grab the guard's attention.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah,
prized Mr. General Faldvin.
Mr. General Faldvin.
Suppose you're right, but it's a good plan.
Okay, so you won't kill me or, kick me like a little ball that the kids kick down the street, right? When I beat you up.
There will be no repercussions for my actions, right?
Tempting as the thought is, no. I'd much rather get out of here.
Right. Well, Mr. General Faldvin, sir, if there's no other... if there's
My name is Freck, by the way. My name's Freck. If we're going to be beating your friend up here, might as well introduce myself.
Oh, he's not my friend, but it's a long... the story...
It's a long story.
Tell me over a pint one day, kid.
You're buying.
I guess.
First of all, what are we even going to do? How are we going to get Faldvin out of here? Like, what, are we just gonna walk out of the town, or are we gonna swim for it?
That's a good question. I don't think even I could get us sneaking through.
I do have a rowboat.
I feel that may not be as effective as we might think it is.
I may have a little solution to your problems if you help me out.
We're helping you out. Yes, we're going to get out of here.
I have a companion. My companion and I have a boat of sorts. And I'm sure that my companion will be very happy of me being out of jail and will take you anywhere you need outside of Valgard on our beautiful ship.
So you guys will have no problem with, say, 7 of us and Mr. Lord General Falbenser getting on this boat.
Good.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay. I'm gonna hate every second of it, but okay. Hey, Taffy!
Yeah, he's a
I'm
little
gonna turn-
distracted at the whole. We're gonna get on a boat out of nowhere, but hey, he's got no other option. He's got no better suggestions, so he's just kind of going. He's running the logistics in his mind.
I'm gonna turn Ari into something. What should I do? Sorry, Ari.
It's gotta be something. Let's see here. Man, Ari, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of something. It's gotta be small. So, you might as well aim for cute while we're at it.
What about a dragon?
Giving me
a
dragon.
How about a ferret?
I was gonna say you're giving me very much squirrel vibes.
How do you want me to explain that there's a squirrel in the middle of the castle prison?
Pseudo dragon. Listen, squirrels can get on all kinds of places. They're squirrels.
Yeah.
Maybe a rat. Rats are more common in dungeons.
I am not turning Renorian into a rat.
Okay, fine. It was just a suggestion.
I don't know. Ari, what's your favorite tiny... I know what I'm going to turn him into.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Ari?
Ari's just kind of like rubbing absently at one of his arms and kind of seems to snap out of his thoughts. Yes?
I need you to trust me, and I need you to stand in the center of the room and just relax.
Alright. And he'll do as you want and goes to stand in the middle of your little cell.
Alright. Uh-oh. There we go. Nothing.
Yeah,
so,
I'm trying to fix things. Sorry.
Oh.
And he's going to kind of... Hold on, let me check polymorph real quick. I believe it's semantic.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
It is verbal and semantic. So you will hear him kind of utter this incantation in deep drow and wave his hands in a strange but kind of intricate pattern toward Ari. And he's going to try to turn him into a butterfly.
All right. And
A butterfly?
Butterfly. So yeah, you cast the spell. Your polymorph spell onto Ari, and you kind of watch as the elf, this tall elven man standing there, begins to shrink, and his body begins to change, and you see like his skin begins to turn like brown and black and orange as wings sprout out from his back. And soon enough, where once Renarian the elf stood, now sits a small butterfly on the floor, with a brown body and these large orange wings with like dark red and black dots on it that kind of remind you of like autumn leaves from a tree. Probably big enough to fit in the palm of your hand, even with the wings outspread.
Of course, he's a monarch butterfly.
Oh, not the one I had in mind, but yeah, sure.
And he'll just kind of walk over and squat down and hold out his hand.
And you'll see he starts to flutter his wings, but seems a little uncertain as he just crawls onto your hand instead.
Are there any windows?
You look around the cell, but you do not see any windows in here.
Alright, well instead then he'll walk over to the bars and just kind of slip his hand through. And just say, it would probably be a really good idea for you to go either find Yelkish or Arca.
And he kind of flutters his wings a little. And after a moment, he takes off out of your hand and begins to just flutter his way down the hallway. Soon vanishing
this is the
from
last
sight.
time we see Renarian.
So, Taffy,
Yeah.
how about you get swirling on pudding?
Got it. All right. And he's like, he holds the little vial up. He's like, all right, buddy, it's your time to shine. Don't worry. No pressure. We got this. Don't worry, Puddin'. We got this. As he like looking around for some organic stuff to get him a little bit bigger, and also just sort of transfer some of him into the lock.
Yeah, and you kind of look around the ground, and you do find a couple of sticks. The first couple you find are a little too big to fit in the bottle, but another one you find is small enough that even as you stick it into the bottle, you've still got enough room to like move it around. And
Perfect.
yeah, and then that's what you do is you uncork the bottle, you stick the stick in, and just start like whisking it around vigorously.
Poor thing.
We gotta wake him up, or we gotta get him energized. I'm cooking up something over here.
Go, Puddin'.
And yeah, soon enough, the once cube-like shape of pudding is reduced to just like this just ooze that's just like slushing around in the bottle.
Perfect. Okay. Now I don't want to take all of them out. I just want to take enough of them out. I sort of make like a trail of like sticks and leaves. I hold up the vial next to the lock, and I kind of stuff some like leaves and like other organic refuse into the lock. And then I kind of stick a stick in there, and then I to bridge the gap, between Puddin' and the lock. See if he'll work his way up there.
And Yulia will quietly kind of like stand up and like reach over and help stabilize this little funnel you're making. As carefully without touching this pudding as much as possible.
That could be good.
Yeah. Yeah, so you kind of shove whatever you can into and around the lock for Puddin' to, I guess cling onto to get it onto the lock. And you tip the vial, and you tip the vial enough that just a little bit of him starts to come out, and you at least still manage to save a little bit still left in this vial. And as this gel makes contact with one of the sticks that's sticking out of the lock, you and Yulia both immediately hear as it seems to almost wrap around this stick, and you watch as it begins to slowly eat away at it through like the outer thin layer of bark and then into the wood beneath it. And this process is going to be slow, but but it's almost kind of fascinating to watch this goop just slowly work its way down through the materials you've laid out, and almost seeming to grow just a tiny bit bigger as it goes.
Where the heck did you find this?
Oh yeah, we found it in the Underdark when we were delving in that dungeon. Isn't he the best? Puddin's great.
Mm-hmm. Puddin's fantastic.
I can't believe you named it too.
Well, it's actually one of two. We didn't name the second one yet.
Oh, I see.
The idea
Mhm.
is to start multiplying them with like sticks, and then we name them so they're cute, and then we sell them.
Oh,
I'm not sure I understand, but you know what? Nothing makes sense at this moment. I will just accept this statement.
Except the pudding.
oh, we're just an interesting bunch of people.
Well, you have no idea.
You don't know the half of it.
So, Vrek,
Yeah.
in the interest of getting this out of the way, and since I know Resh is not going to introduce himself to you, this is my brother, Rashir. My name is Narshellis. Please, I insist if you were going to shorten my name to call me Shellis. Our friend who is not here is a giant bird. His name is Arca. The pink tiefling is Yulia. The tabaxi is Taffy, and the butterfly is Runari. And of course, you already have met Mr. Sir Lord General Excellency Baldwin. Former king.
I love.
Alvin just sighs really deeply and rubs at his face.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Can't wait to get to know you over a drink when we actually get the hell out of this.
I'm just curious, why are you in here?
I'm a goblin.
I understand you on a spiritual level.
Yeah, I stepped off of the boat. They saw a goblin and they were like, nah, good try.
Oh,
Right.
I killed 4 people.
You are a very interesting kid.
Thank you. I like this goblin. I'm going to keep him.
We have adopted him. He's ours now.
Yes, that's totally what he means.
Uh-huh.
He's not a pet.
Resh just kind of looks between you, Narshellis, and Vrek, and just gives a shrug of his shoulders, like, very well.
Oh God!
Oh,
And then you'll
I
see.
don't belong to anybody. I belong to myself. Thank you very much.
Of course you do. No, don't worry. It's cute that you think that way. Anyway, so how exactly are we going to go about the whole, beating up His Majesty?
Please, it is just
Oh,
Baldwin.
His Majesty Faltman.
Oh, God.
Hey, you said you missed me.
Oh.
You're gonna have to deal with this.
So I did. And,
can you pick me up?
Yeah.
yeah, you pick Vrek up as you see Resh kind of seems to vanish from sight into the shadows, presumably into your shadow, Narshellis.
You want me to throw you?
Sure. Why don't you throw me? Throw me right into the general's face over there.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So he'll just go over to the other end of the room to make sure Vrek gets some good air time. And just for funsies, can I roll strength to throw him?
I was gonna have you roll, so yes, please do.
And he will draw Vrek back over his head like a basketball.
Oh my god.
And just hurl him.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, there we go.
15.
Goblin dodgeball.
So Narshellis, Vrek is probably around like half as tall as you, fairly heavy, but you managed to pick him up. You're struggling a little bit, and you step away to the other side of the cell, looking Faldvin down. Who Faldvin just kind of has this expression on his face, like he's already done. But he just stands there, ready for whatever ridiculousness is about to unfold. And so you lift Rek up above your head, as he kind of like scrunches himself into almost like a little ball, and you hurl him across the room. And Vrek, you imagine this is kind of what it must feel like to be like shot out of a cannon without dying. As Narcellus, lifts you up and throws you across the room directly at Faldvin, and you hit him pretty much square in the chest with enough force to knock you both down onto the ground. With you now on top of him.
He doesn't look apologetic about it at all, by the way. Actually, Breck has like this really big smile on his face that he managed to knock down Faldvin.
Real quick, I want Narcellus to use Prestidigitation twice. First, to cover the floor with blood underneath Faldvin and Vrek, and then to simultaneously cover Vrek, like their hands and Faldvin's face with like splotches of this blood.
Yeah, absolutely. I will allow that. As you try to make this look as believable as possible. And as you do so, Faldvin kind of seems to catch on to the idea, and you hear him immediately begin to shout, Guards, come quick, this goblin is beating me up!
Just like pretending to like hit this man in the chest.
It's fine, just bite him!
I don't want to bite him.
You taste like elf. Ugh.
And realizing that he's not doing a whole lot, Narcellus will just go over and kind of reach down and like chokehold him, but not enough to actually hurt him.
Yeah. Fair.
While simultaneously saying, man, a goblin and a drow, this must be your worst fucking nightmare.
Oh, God.
It's something. And, the two of you will continue to pretend to beat up Faldvin as he, shouts for the guards in feigned terror. And you eventually do hear the clinking and clacking of, like, boots on the stone floor as the guards in the hallway begin to approach. And at that time, across the city...
On the other side of chaoticry.
Fly, butterfly, fly.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I forgot that's the picture we used for the brother. It's so cute.
It's a little baby.
A baby.
He do be. Sorry about that. So, Arca.
Yes.
You, to sort of recap the events, you witness Narcellus, explode this guard outpost, and he urged you and Nyalkish and Aoife to run, which you all do. And somewhere in the crowds and the chaos of, all the nearby civilians and passerbys beginning to panic at the sight of this explosion, you and Nyalkish lose Aoife at some point, and the two kind of find yourselves in the middle of the city, unsure of where to go. And at that point, you had run into Kavi, your younger brother, saying that he had come here looking for you from the karst. And you worry you have little time for him to explain himself and just drag him along as you and Yalkish figure that you need to find some allies in order to rescue your friend out of prison and perhaps try to meet up with the rest of your party wherever they may be in the city. Along your way, you happen to run into this half-Triton who was kind of getting heckled by the guards for very little reason, and figuring that he seemed nice enough after chatting for a moment, you drag him with you as well, over to the house of Robert the Builder.
Yes.
Yes.
And I believe if I remember correctly, I think we ended like Rob had been there to greet you guys.
Yeah, we had gotten into his house and like just started chatting, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So Arca, Riven, with Nilkish and Kavi, you find yourselves in the home of Robert. Riven, of course, this for you is a first, as, you know, this is kind of one of the very few times you've ever been to Valgard, and certainly the first time you've ever been to this carpenter's home. It's very simply decorated with most of the furniture on the inside made of wood, likely furniture that Rob himself has created and carved. You know, everything is very plain and simple. There's really nothing hung up on the walls other than some old carpentry tools and what look to be maybe half-finished projects he'd been working on at some point. You see there's a round table in the room fairly near the door that he'll motion for you all to sit at as he locks the door behind you, and he'll come to join you. And you see he's got this a few papers kind of stacked up haphazardly on the table with a quill and ink, and he will kind of quickly grab it all and begin to kind of make it a little more organized as he looks over the four of you. And he'll focus on you, Arca, as he'll say, so, what is it that brings you back here, Arca? I mean, you and all of your friends are still wanted.
We heard a bit of what's going on here in Valgard, and most notably that General Faldvin was due to be executed. So we came back to save him.
Save him? I mean, I'll admit the old general's got a number of allies still in the city. I know a lot of the military still support him, but I mean, he's currently being held under the castle. There's no way you're going to get inside. It's a fool's mission.
Under the castle, so that's gonna be tough indeed, but we have to try.
Yeah, and he'll kind of look from you to the other three around the table, looking a little confused, as he'll say, I don't remember everyone else before, the new friends of yours.
Well, this is Nyelkish, as Arca gestures towards Nia right there, the little dragonborn girl. Well, actually, no, she's taller than him.
She is, but it's fine. But as soon as you say her name, his eyes go wide as he instantly goes to kneel, gets out of his seat and goes to kneel to her. And Nyalkish immediately reaches out and says, "Please don't. appreciate it, and she'll like rest a gentle hand on his shoulder and like help him back up onto his feet. She'll say, just call me Nia. I know it's maybe a little strange, but it's best that we keep our identities to ourselves. And Robert will just kind of nod and say, as you say, you're Nia. That's weird. Sorry. Okay, who are the other two?
Well, there's this guy, Captain Mr. Riven, and Arca kind of like jerks a thumb towards the half-triton, and he says, I honestly just encountered him, but I figure I'm going to need some allies here. And he seems to piss off the guards, so you know what? Good enough for me.
And I'll sort of give like a little like wave of my fingers at Rob and say, I'm new in town, so haven't seen you around before, but nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Name's Robert. Call me Rob if you want. Bob, some people do. And then he'll kind of like look curiously over at Kavi, who's just looking at this guy with, big curious eyes.
And Arca kind of like takes that as a silent question, and there's like this note of affection as he kind of like gently pats Kavi on the head. And this is my youngest brother, Kavi. And here, Arca will kind of like look down at him and say, Kavi, why are you here? You should be on the karst where it's safe.
And at that, as you introduce him, Kavi gives a little like excited wave with his talons over at Robert across the table. And he'll look up at you as you ask, and you see like the crest on his head kind of fall back a little as he'll say, well, yeah, I should be, but I came looking for you because there's and he seems to just be struggling with his words. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I have to pull up my little note here. And he says, I came because Ria's in trouble.
And Arca immediately, like, his motion stills, and you can tell he's, like, worried. She's in trouble? What happened?
He bobs his head as he'll say, well, she was finally gonna go to the Garuda to get her blessing so she can, get her wings to fly. And she went, but she never came back.
No.
And Mom and Dad went to go see what happened, and they came back and said that the Garuda wasn't letting her go.
What?
So I figured, you're big and strong, Arca, and I figured you could come and, convince the Garuda to let her go.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, he's so blessed. Arca, for a moment, is very much frozen, and, is it okay if I go, like, into what he's thinking a little bit?
If you'd like, yeah.
Okay. And in his mind, he can't help but think of the vision he saw in, oh, no, what's his name? In the temple, where the Garuda had Rhea's severed head. And for a second, he's wondering if what he saw was real or if it's just another case of like malicious forces in the Underdark trying to mess with him. And he's silent for a second, and then he just said, God, we need to get there so fast. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, yes. I heard that there was issues with the young ones getting their blessings, but I didn't know that he had Rhea and
Yeah, he's
yes.
and Kavi will say, yeah, I've overheard some of the elders talking about how the Garuda has been acting really weird, and I mean, some people haven't, or some Aarakocra haven't been able to get their blessing, but we thought, Rhea had a really good chance. And I don't know, Mom and Dad didn't really explain a whole lot. They said that she's okay, just he won't let her go.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. How weird was Garuda acting?
And he kind of like has to think about it as he like scratches at some of his feathers with one of his talons. Just that, from all the stories that, like I've heard from you and from a lot of the elders around the karst, the Garuda used to fly a lot around the karst and, be with us. But
Yes.
now he's just been kind of, holed up in his home, at the top of the tallest spire, and he hasn't really come down at all lately, especially since you've left. No one's really seen him.
Oh no.
Weird.
Yeah. This isn't supposed to happen. I don't know.
I was about to say, just as they're having this conversation, Riven, you, actually make a history check for me.
Okay.
Ooh.
9. So,
Love that.
so from your travels across the world of all of Edavol, you are aware of who the Garuda is. You're aware that he is revered as a god amidst Aarakocra, and is responsible for being the one who created them. Beyond that, you're not very familiar with a lot of Aarakocra traditions or things of that nature. So as you kind of hear them talking back and forth about this, you don't know a whole lot about the Garuda's behavior, so you're a little lost as to why it's weird, yet at the same time, it's kind of odd to hear them talking about their god, as being amidst their people, when none of the other gods have really been seen very much. There's tales and that, but to hear them speak so openly about the Garuda just being commonly amidst them you find is intriguing. And then this whole talk of being blessed for wings, you're a little lost on, but you still kind of at least managed to follow the gist of the conversation that this Rhea is in trouble, though you're not sure of their exact connection to the two of them, as they haven't really shared it.
Okay.
But,
yeah. So I guess
what's Riven think about this at the moment?
Yeah, Riven's a little lost. A little just kind of mulling over in their head about the fact that, like, not only is this going on, but also there's this whole other conversation about, people trying, like, Arca wanting to break somebody or some bodies out of the prison, which just so happens to be where his friend is. And at the same time, he's sort of like, while he's taking in this conversation, he's also sort of like looking at Nia kind of inquisitively, as if he's trying to piece together like who exactly this Dragonborn is. Like, from the conversation that happened between her and Robert, would he, like, would the context clues have put it together that, like, she's obviously she's somebody important in Leyrin?
Yeah, so even though you are from Afanac originally, and you've been to Leyrid a number of times before with your crew, and you see Robert immediately trying to kneel down to this Dragonborn, and that kind of rings bells in your heads of, oh, this is someone important. And as you kind of mull over her name, like the full name Arca had spoken, Nyalkish, it's familiar. And it takes you a few minutes to realize that that's the name of the eldest princess of Leyrid.
All right. So sort of like turning my head from Neilkish to Arca, I'll sort of say, listen, I don't really want to interrupt this moment because I know I'm assuming you guys haven't seen each other in a while, and I don't really want to interrupt the family moment, but um, you said that you were trying to get some people out of the Valgard's prison, and I actually need to get someone out of there too. So I think maybe we can help each other.
And that does snap Arca out of like this panic mode he's currently in. And it's like he suddenly remembers like why he's here again. He says, right. Yes. I need to break out. Honestly, at this point, probably 2 people from prison. But yes, if our goals are aligned, then your aid is much welcome.
Good.
Who exactly do you need to break out?
Oh, he's one of my crewmates. Sort of had a little bit of a rough and tumble with the guards. Apparently, they don't really like goblins anywhere. So.
Oh, yeah, this city sucks. So, yeah.
Right. And I'll sort of like tent my fingers together and like press them to my chin and say, and sort of turn to Robert and say, listen, I've been in the ports before, but I've never really traveled this far into the city. So the prison, probably where they're being kept, you said, is gonna be under the castle?
And Robert, who's been, kind of quiet this whole time, allowing Arca and his brother to chat, looks at you, Riven, and gives a nod as he'll say, yeah, Feldman's still got a lot of allies in the military. He was a damn good general, but they've been rounding up a lot of them so far, but from what we know, I guess, being this, I guess you can call us a bit of a revolutionary group or rebellion of sorts. From what we've gathered, he's being held in the dungeons under the castle. If you're looking for a way inside, there's a couple people I could probably recommend that you can talk to for a little help.
All right. And at this, Riven will sort of like stand up and start pacing sort of back and forth as like a plan is starting to formulate in their mind. And they'll say, okay, so we'll need access to the prison. But more than that, we're going to need some sort of distraction. And that's when they'll sort of turn towards Nielkish and say, you're the princess, right? The heir to the throne, or you should be, anyway.
And Nielkish just gives kind of this timid nod as she'll say, yeah, I mean, I think most of the country probably assumes I'm dead, so it's currently going to my uncle.
We can use that to our advantage. I mean, if the country thinks you're dead, and then you suddenly show up in Valgard, I mean, that's gonna cause quite a scene, wouldn't it?
Well, probably, and she kind of shifts a little in her seat. My only concern is I left the city in the first place because, I was being taken away by some members of the Order, saying they were going to bring me to some family relatives of mine outside the city. And one of our companions was good enough to save me from what would have likely been a terrible fate. I guess my only concern would be if I show up again, I don't know how people will react. I know certainly my uncle and whoever is sided with him will likely be very mad and might try to end me.
Got it. Well, there's no reason for you to be putting yourself in danger. And Riven will sort of like look at Arca, and say, well, like look between Arca and Rob and say, well, I guess who can you get us in contact with that might be able to help us get our friends out?
And Robert kind of thinks about it for a moment, and then kind of rifles through the papers he's got to find one that's blank. And you see him dip the quill in the ink, and he begins writing as he responds to you. He'll say, first one, I'd recommend you could speak to, Famaya. She's the leader of the Swiftcloak Guild here in Valgard. Kind of the one spearheading a lot of the, I guess, a lot of the rebellion currently rising up in the city. She might be a little hard to get a hold of, but someone in the guild can probably help you out. Or, considering you want to get into the castle, I'd recommend seeking out Captain O'Gara. He's the younger guy in his mid-30s, works in the guard here in the city, but he's one of the ones who wasn't pleased about Faldvin's arrest. We all believe that Faldvin's being wrongly accused of the Queen's murder.
Captain O'Gara. And Famaya. He's done well for herself.
She's trying. But, yeah, Captain Seamus O'Gara.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Seamus.
Seamus, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen,
I was like,
you know,
I said it in my head and I'm like, what?
I'm going to make a note of that, Captain. Seamus. Fantastic. Yeah, Captain Seamus O'Gara,
Mhm.
kind of responsible for the one of those military camps just outside the city wall.
Oh, okay. So we'll be able to find him there, I presume?
Yeah, I think it's probably the one just outside the western gate. If you go over there, I'd say maybe not. I mean, unless you want to cause a distraction, bring the Alkish with you, but yeah, just
No.
ask for him, and I don't know, say something that you've got information about drow movement on the surface. That's kind of been our little code phrase, if you would call it that.
Duly noted. Thank you very much, Robert.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you need anything while you're still here, feel free to come ask. I'll help however I can.
I do have one request.
Sure.
Considering we don't want to be bringing Nia out in the open too much, could you advise where we could keep her safe? And my brother as well, when we're on the move, to make this excursion, if you will.
And Javi will immediately pipe up with, "But, Arca, can I help?"
Kavi, it's dangerous. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I mean, I got here all by myself from the karst. I can look out for myself, and I want to help you.
He's-
Oh, okay. Riven will speak up and say, Kavi, where your talents might be useful is in making sure the princess stays safe.
And his eyes kind of light up at that as he says, "Okay, yeah, I'll look after Nia."
I can, my heart.
And Robert will say,
So
just looking at the Discord, sorry.
Same.
Robert will say, you're welcome to leave Nia and Javi here with me. I'll keep an eye on them while you two are out and about.
Thank you very much, Robert. It definitely puts my mind at ease knowing someone, a former Swiftclick, is keeping them safe.
Yeah, of course. Least I can do to help y'all, but just be careful out there. I hate to see you both end up or you, Arca, end up in prison with Faldvin.
Oh, they'll have to do a lot to keep me in.
Yeah, that's the truth. Was there anything I can get y'all? I don't know if you're gonna head out now or if you need some time.
Mm,
Riven will look at Arca. Kind of just. It's not going to say anything, but they're looking kind of antsy, like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think it'd be best if we move as soon as possible, to be honest.
Alright, well, I'd say maybe go seek out the captain first if you can. Just, like I said, just be careful. But should find him in the camp just outside the western gate.
Alright, Western Gate, and we'll tell him that we've got information on drow movements on the surface. Roger that.
Yeah.
And then I guess we head out.
Yeah.
All right. So you both kind of say your farewells to Nia and Kavi as Kavi looks kind of like puffs out his chest a little as he is about to take protecting Nia very seriously. And
Baby.
and the two of you, depart the house and begin heading down the road towards the western entrance of the city to seek out Captain O'Gara. And that is where we are going to take our break.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if everyone would like to get up, stretch, get some food or water, we'll be back in like 15-ish minutes. And, yeah, we will see y'all then.
Excellent. All right. See you in a bit.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Later.
Okay. Let me just, I'm gonna disconnect real quick. And then that hopefully fixes that. We'll see. We will see. Gotta turn off the pets. Yep. There we go. There we go. Ooh, okay. Pets are eternal. They are. Listen, but I gotta turn them off. Probably need to make them a little cheaper. I need to put them on a timer. Is what originally they were, and then I got tired of keeping up with it. And then I have the technology now. They can be on timers, and in fact, I can set it up so I don't even have to bother like doing all this stuff manually. I can just have it work. We can go back to timers because if I could, that was why it used to be really cheap. It was like 250 points because it only was supposed to last 30 minutes. And then I was like, oh, I'm done with this. Then I upped it to like be more expensive. Automation, exactly. Automation. Automaton. Oh. Excellent. Okay. I think you mean 30 seconds, not minutes. No, I meant 30 minutes. Because having the pet show up for only 30 seconds was a little short. That was way back of my first model, I think. So it was a little more static. Also, I had like way less things going on, so it was a lot easier to keep up. Now I've got like a billion different. I actually hit the limit. On redeems. I had to go and delete some. I gotta reset up all the screams. Yeah, way before you got here. Yeah. Yeah, Reggie, have you seen my first model? Only a couple of clips. Oh, okay, gotcha. Do I have that redeem up? Hold on, let me check. Should have form change. I do. Okay, there it is. I had to combine my forms. I need to make sure. Oh man, I wish there was a way I could. I know there might be a way. I need to tie my redeems to certain categories or something, because like some of these I'm not going to change my form in the middle of D&D. I need like an all redeems off button and then all redeems on button. That's what I need. Technically. Yeah, don't redeem that. I have to refund you. It's a little rude for me to be like, all right, guys, hold on while I totally just switch into Rena over here. Don't worry about it. I'm excited though. The deeds have been done. The contracts have been signed. The deals have been made. I will have a new form. I think next year. Started next year. Finally. Hold on, you turn into a mouse. All right, guys, I'm Renoushly now. Don't worry about it. Don't question it. It's fine. Totally okay. Oakley Madokley. Man, that'd be weird. Just introduce my... It's like, I've got like a million forms. Don't worry about it. Man, I wish I used my, I don't know, my old 3D form was just like, it's such a pain to set up. I have the things now to make it a lot easier. I just haven't, I don't know. No, people didn't seem to like that one too much. You get baleful polymorphed into a mouse. You know what? That's a good point. I need to set that up. That's what I need to do. I get baleful polymorphed, and then I just whip out the like one of the, I don't know, turn me into a clock. I got Clocknard. I got Nard. I've got Renoushly. What else do I have? Hold on. I should have them listed in here. Yeah, I've got Renoushly, Clocknard, Renard 1.0, Chibi Renard, which I'm using now. I got Colt Renard, and that, oh yeah, I've got 2 separate VV Renards. Oh, I've got a Mad Rat Dead Renard. I need to put that in there. I think oh man, did I set that up before or after that? I didn't get to use it because that was a Keaton stream. I just like the fact that Keaton is a virus. It's perfect. Keaton is a virus. Excellent. Keaton became a parasite in your brain, yeah? Keaton isn't just a parasite. He's a parasite in everybody's brain. Real quick, shout out to all the lurkers. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a great time. Man, I've heard tell that there will be a new Keaton stream soon, which I'm excited for. Redeem only got 45.9k. Gotcha. I thought about making them cheaper, but my concern is that they'd just be going off constantly. It makes them more special if they're sparsed out. Yeah, I need to get back to, oh, that's right, I'm still waiting on the, that's right, I'm like, man, I need to get back into Pokemon Infinite Fusion. I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm waiting for the update before I get back into that. Give me time. I need to get through BRC and then Nier Automata. And that should put us pretty close to Rogue Trader. And then I'll have to decide if I'm gonna go through Rogue Trader or not. I don't know, man. 8 to 12 months is a commitment. That is a huge commitment. Oh my goodness. Ada. Look, I can do it. Man, I'm so used to getting dunked every time I do that. If he's not around, the mods are asleep, I can RR without getting dunked. Oh, hell yeah. If you did make it cheaper, it would be weird for Renan to be more expensive, so you need to decide whether to make that cheap too. Yeah, that's true. If Keaton goes down like he would go down maybe by, I don't know, 10, 15,000, and then Renan would go down by about 5. I have a couple different Renans now, so I should probably like. Also, thank you for lurking, Memento. I don't know why I just called you Memo. Memento. I do appreciate getting them RRs. While they're asleep, post Umbreon in general. I like that's the go-to. It's like, all right, if he's asleep, it's time to post the Umbreons. Yeah, Yulia. The Yulias. Be lurking. Yulia's in my chat. Redeeming my RRs. Which is good because that is a woefully underutilized redeem. It's so cheap. It's like 120. You get all the RRs you want, and nobody redeems it. That is a crime. It is a crime. It's a straight up crime. Beat rank 2 boss rush and Dead Cells. Good job. Excellent, Snowy. I still have yet to play Dead Cells. Like I want to, I just haven't had the time. 24,000 to use. Oh hell yeah. Dang, you're getting close, man. You could do a you're what was a fourth of the way to a Keaton stream? What can you do with 24,000? So you're close to a form change. You have all the dunks. I need an intermediary between Moon Dunk and form change. That's a gap. A good like 10 or 20,000 thing. I don't know what to put there though. What would be a good 10,000 or 15,000 redeem? On to 3. Oh my goodness. You can force me. Yeah, that's true. You can. You can just straight up force me to do it. Well, you'll force Keaton to do it. They pay me for form change. Oh dang! So there you go. To my model. Yeah, that's what pets do that. Dang, I need to do. I used to have a hat redeem, and then I got so many hats I just couldn't fit them all into a redeem, and I think I deleted it because I think it was like no one was using it, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna maintain it. I have all kinds of hats. Do I still have the hats? I don't have the hats, do I? Yo, confetti, shot dunk, catch Pokemon, run a zone, menacing, power dunk. Pet. There's the whistle, there's dunks. Yeah, it's not there. Huh. Top hat. Cool, bad British accent for the 10k. Oh man, I could bring back Hawkma for 10k. Do the whole stream as Hawkma for like 10 or 15,000. Good God, that would destroy me. It'd be funny though. Hawkma, just do it. Hawkma mode. Oh man. Sassy old man, yes. Then I could just sass everyone all the time. Did you see that Catman Taffy? That little bitch. He didn't even follow through. He just sat there and went and terrorized the man. And for what? To have a little butt monkey, please. I've seen more gusto from vacuum cleaners. Arca's brother is more of a character than that Taffy. Some sort of roulette wheel for a couple things. Could do that too. I could do, you know what I could do if you can't do rank 3? Oh, I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, Snowy. Oh no. I could do, I I don't know. I'd probably want to make it more than 10 or 15,000 for sprite those avatars. Because those things are, I don't want to I just want to hand them out. It's like, I got 25,000 cookies. I'm going to go get like 15,000. Then you roll on the wheel and see if you get a free avatar or something. Could do a boss rush. Spin the wheel for a boss rush. Just force a boss rush. Pay for a boss rush. But what else could I do? What I need to do... Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to bolt in... I have a thing set up, but I haven't bolted it together yet, where you can change, like, the color palette on me. You can turn me different colors. And I need to get that. I need to finish setting that. Finish bolting that in. I got it set up, and then I didn't actually like turn it on. Let's see who gets the reward. Not guaranteed it to the redeemer. Oh, there you go. Hey, you can just pay. Maybe you'll be on. Maybe you won't. I might be able to do that with what was it? Stream Elements with loyalty. I think there's a user thing. Look at that, we're gonna go. Oh. All right, I think we're ready. I think we're ready, spaghetti. All right, we're gonna jump back in and see how Rana will save us from our predicament. I'm sure. Here we go. Make sure I don't click the wrong screen. Here we go. There we go. We back.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh.
And now I've fixed the things so they light up now.
Hey.
Oh, well
Hey.
done.
Okay.
Bouncy, lady up.
Yeah, gotta love it when Discord messes up like that.
Yeah, just listen, if something isn't crashing, am I actually streaming?
Honestly. So true. All right, so we left off. Arca and Rivem leave Nyalgish and Kavi behind with Robert as they head down to the docks. Or, not the docks, I'm sorry. The western gate of the city. In the hopes of finding this captain that Robert had kind of pointed them in the direction of. Meanwhile, back over at the castle. Down in the dungeons, in the belly of this building, Vrank and Narcellis, you two are in the midst of quote-unquote beating up Faldvin.
Yeah.
Making it look as convincing as possible.
He might
with the help-
actually be pulling a few strands of hair just for good riddance.
Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah.
What did you say about my mother? Say it again.
Yeah, you don't talk about his mother that way.
Okay. Faldvin, well, I meant it. And whatever the hell he's shouting.
He's really bad at this.
Yeah, he is. And eventually, you hear the clicking of metal shoes, or probably just leather, whatever. Shoes upon the ground. As eventually, about 2 guards come up to the cell doors. One of them holding like a pike in one hand, and the other, like, you can see a sword kind of strapped to his side. And one of them will say, hey, now, thanks, cut it out in there. And you'll see him starting to...
He said something about my mother.
You'll see the one with the sword is like a human guy, probably in his like late 30s, early 40s. He's got like short brown hair, speckled with like little pieces of gray. Starts like fumbling for his keys, like, all right, I'm gonna come in there, and starts to try and find the one that'll unlock your cell door.
Marcellus just kind of leans back and like hooks his arm under Faldvin's throat and just says, "Oh no, the little guard's gonna come in and try to hurt me. I'm so scared."
Oh, my
And that seems to really rile them up, as eventually he fumbles with the key for a few minutes and manages to push the cell door open. And he steps in, withdrawing his blade in one hand, as the both of them begin to walk over to the two of you. Or three of you, I guess I should say.
At this moment, I would like to release Faldvin and press myself up against the wall and just go, okay, Faldvin, if you could actually do something, this would be great. I don't want to get stabbed.
Taffy's whispering, "Come on, Puddin', come on."
Come on, Puddin'.
Come on, Pudding. You can do it.
Vrek, do you do anything as the guards come in?
Oh, Freck immediately hops off of Faldvin's chest and just joins Narcella's, like, full-on T-posing against this wall with his hands. Goes, hey, no trouble here, no trouble here. I forgive you for saying that thing about my mother, alright? No bad blood.
And the one with the sword, comes up to the two of you, kind of holding it out at you to keep you up against the wall. As the other, you see, goes over to Faldvin and, helps him back up onto his feet. And, let's see here. Oh, why did it roll it like that? Oh, that's not the right sheet.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
It was really nice knowing all of you.
Oh, no, I only redo. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh,
Bye.
bye.
And you see, as the other one helps Faldvin up onto his feet, the elf immediately then makes a grab for the pike that the guard is holding in his hand, but apparently doesn't seem to have the strength. Let me get rid of that. As the guard keeps a firm hold on it, and it's immediately like, hey, cut it out! And at that moment as well,
Actually, real quick, before he kills both of them, Jesus,
yeah?
Oh.
I want Narcellas to cast something.
Okay, what would
I
you like
finally
to cast?
have a reason to cast the spell.
Oh no.
Mhm. Okay.
I like that.
How are you casting it? Or I guess also, who are you casting it at, I guess?
The guard
Ignore
closest
that.
to him. Oh, do what?
Ignore what I just posted in
Oh.
chat. You did not see that.
So the guard closest to him, he's going to look up at him and just sort of, he'll see his hand move, not subtle at all, and he'll say, "Hey, now, you don't want to attack us. You want to help us get out of this dungeon." And do I need to roll anything, or is it just your wisdom save?
I think it's just the wisdom save, yeah. Let's see.
Please don't. He's super smart.
Oh.
God.
We have a pet
That's
guard.
We do now!
You have a what?
It was nice knowing everybody.
Yeah, so you say this to the guard, and he immediately begins to lower his sword. Looks a little confused at first, but then is like, yeah, I'm trying to help you out of here. Yeah.
Exactly.
And, he'll turn back to, the other guard who's still wrestling with Faldvin at the moment over the pike that he's carrying. And he'll say, hey, cut it out there. We're supposed to be helping these guys out. And the other one looks at him incredulously, like, I'm sorry? And at that moment, you see they suddenly, like, cry out in pain as from behind them the shadow had formed and quickly took the form of Resh, holding both of his scimitars in hand. And with one swift swipe of each scimitar, the guard crumples to the ground, just about dead. And Resh will kind of look from them up to Narcellis and Vrek and just say, Alright, are we going, I suppose?
Yeah, so
Hey,
Mr. Guard Guy, would you mind, doing the other door?
Yeah, I got it. And, he'll go wander back out into the hallway to the adjacent cell where Taffy, Yulia, Gwen, and Sturkin are, and, you know,
Hide the pudding, hide the pudding.
Puddin's still there, still, like, eating away at the lock, he's worked through most of the organic material and is starting to sizzle now on the lock itself. And you'll see the guard kind of takes a moment, rifles through the keys he's got, and sticks it right in, not even minding that Puddin's there and that it probably begins to start eating the key. But after a moment, you hear the click of the lock, and your cell door swings open.
Oh, dang. Well, that worked better than we thought. By the way, do I still have a little bit of pudding left in that vial?
You do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
you
cool.
do still have some left.
Okay. All right, buddy. He's gonna kind of lean over and talk to Puddin. All right, you gonna hold us. You're gonna cover our rear. All right. Just be free and do what you do. All right, buddy.
Now there's just gonna be a gelatinous cube down in this dungeon. Fantastic.
It's Puddin.
This is
Puddin.
fantastic.
Puddin, it's your dungeon now. You can do whatever you want.
hey, listen, Valgard was a shithole anyway. We don't really need the city.
Oh, sorry, I realized I never switched back over to this. Apologies.
No, you're good.
You are king of the castle. Enjoy it, Puddin.
Enjoy it, Puddin.
So, little goblin, once we're out, what exactly are we going to be doing?
Well, first things first, we're gonna find my associate. The one that me and him have a boat. You know, we gotta go find him.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're getting on the boat.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully.
Is the boat the only thing you have? Like, can there maybe be something that we do, like going by land?
It might be harder for them to chase us over the water, Narcellis. I know it's
I know, but I'm just saying, like, what if there's a way to fly?
Yeah, you know, I'm not in a particular mood to go by air travel at this exact moment of time.
Well,
it's
you know, we could always go under again. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
You know, kid, great idea. I just have no intention of going down in the Underdark. No offense.
Untaken.
all right. Well, if we need to
You
get
just
moving.
gotta get your sea legs in, kid. You gotta get your sea legs in.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, Fulman, you will have to come with us.
Baldwin nods as he seems to have picked up the pike from the guard that's now dead on the ground and says, yeah, of course. Coming.
Problem.
Getting out of here.
No. Hey, Resh.
Hmm.
Give me your cloak.
Resh looks kind of confusedly at you, but he'll oblige and take off of his cloak and hand it out to you.
He will then kind of shake it out and hold it over to Faldman, and at the same time pull off his mask and hand that over as well, and just be like, "Sorry, man, you're gonna be a shark eye today."
All right. And he kind of laughs a little bit, but he'll take what you give him, the cloak and the mask, and he'll put the cloak on, which, considering he and Resh are about the same build, fits just fine. And slips the mask on over his face as he'll just kind of lift the hood up to cover the rest of them.
Awesome. You almost passed.
Fantastic. Though there is the problem of getting out of here.
Oh, that's what my buddy here's for, isn't that right, Mr. Guard?
Yeah, of course. I'll get you guys. Where are we going?
We're going to the. Oh, we gotta go find Ark. We're looking for a bird and this goblin's friend in the city somewhere. A big bird, like a person-sized bird.
We should also probably find our stuff also.
We would love to get our stuff. That's true.
Yeah. I can. I'll go get your stuff, and then.
Mr. Guard, what's your name?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Bill.
Jeff the Guard. Ronald.
My name is Henry.
I hate you.
My name's Henry.
All right. And at that, he'll just kind of step outside of the cell and wait.
And you step outside. Followed soon after by the guard, Faldvin, and Vrek, and Taffy. I see you've got your little speech bubble up.
Yeah. So while this is all unfolding, he goes back into his cell. He glances at Starkin, narrows his eyes, and then just proceeds to pay him no mind. And then he says, "Gwen, come here."
Yeah, and Gwen will kind of very nervously get up onto his feet, and you see he's kind of glancing over from Starkin to Yulia and back to you, Taffy. But eventually his gaze settles on you.
He side glances him, but Taffy's just gonna leave him in this cell.
Gwen?
No, Starkin.
Oh, okay.
Not
I
Gwen.
was like, what? Okay.
He's like, so he, beckons him over to the entrance of the cell, but then right before he gets over there, he stops him with his paw, puts a paw on his chest, and he's like, "All right, listen. From now on, you will refer to me as Sir, and you are going to be within at least eyesight of me until we get on that boat. You understand me?"
Yeah, of course. Sir, yeah.
Very good.
Of course.
And remember,
Jesus Christ.
I think Happy's moral alignment shift
I support it, honestly.
in real time.
in real time. Hey, listen, it's this or he dies.
Hey, you know what? Don't you, bestie?
Listen,
So
he's gonna
This is
work. He's
beautiful.
gonna work this off. He's gonna work his transgressions off.
You
Sorry.
love to see it.
All right. No funny business, and no weapons. If you need help, you will let me know, and I will help you. Do you understand?
Yeah, of course, sir. Whatever you say.
All right then. Then he turns to the rest of the party. Gwen here has so graciously volunteered to help fix the problems he has caused to the best of his ability, and his life is very much dependent upon his success, as it were.
Okay.
If he gives any of you any trouble, you let me know, and I'll fix that problem?
I cannot guarantee under any circumstance that Resh will let you know anything.
Ah,
I will, but if he'll just look at Gwen and just say, I'm just going to tell you that if you piss off my brother, he's going to stab you.
Yeah, you shouldn't piss off his brother.
Kid, but
You
I
just-
could make bomb.
you just saw what he did with the guards. Take that into mind.
Yeah, got it.
All
And,
right.
yeah, I guess with that, unless
One second.
yeah, I'll say did you have anything else, Taffy? Okay.
No, that was it.
Before we leave, if it's okay, I'd like Narcillus to step inside of Taffy and Yulia's cell.
Okay, and you do so as the rest of your party begins kind of like congregating in the hallway, and Yulia and Taffy leave the cell with Gwen, and Sturkin just has been kind of staying in his corner, just staying silent.
Narcillus is going to approach Sturkin. At enough of a distance. And kind of stand in front of him with like his arms at his sides for a minute. And after a minute, he'll hold out his hand and he'll say, sorry about what happened to your son.
And Sturkin like looks up at your hand at first, Narcellus, and then looks up at you. And he doesn't like make a move to take it or anything yet, and he'll just say, yeah, it was my son and my wife were killed in the drought raid on Drake Mound like 18 years ago.
Yeah. I can't claim that. I'm afraid I was born 18 years ago. Regardless, sorry they got caught in that.
Yeah. And he'll kind of look.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, is Narcellus still like holding out his hand?
Yep.
He'll like look at your hand again. He'll just say, what are you doing, kid?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to stay here and get your head cut off?
Man, since they threw me in here, it started kind of seeming like not so bad an idea.
Look, if you're thinking that you're gonna die and get to see your son or whatever, you're going to the hells. I'm sorry. There's no way around that. So I mean, I'm not gonna trust you, but I'm not gonna tell you to sit in here and rot.
He looks at you for a long moment, kind of like furrowing his brows, looking confused. He'll say, "Why? I mean, I got you and your friends all into this mess."
Yeah, you did, but if you hadn't, they wouldn't be my friends. So, I mean, it's not okay. Like, you're still a shitty person, but like, so am I. So I guess it's okay. It's not okay, but I guess it's fine. And believe it or not, like, not all drow just go around killing other people. Believe it or not, my brother actually does other things than kill people. It's a great time.
He looks a little weirdly at you at that, but he just kind of shakes his head after a moment and says, I mean, I don't even know what I'm gonna do now.
What do you think your wife or your son would want you to do?
Like sighs, kind of thinks about it for a moment.
Pretty sure they wouldn't want you to go poisoning the queen. Not that you did that!
And you can almost kind of feel Faldman's eyes on you for a moment.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sturkin will just say, no, they wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, I can't go back to Drake Mound at this point.
Well, we're getting on a boat, so if you promise not to stab everyone, or, under this threat of getting decapitated yourself, and he'll turn toward the party like, I know everyone hates this guy, but, I kind of feel bad leaving someone to die to Duke Gabrath.
Yulia will actually be the first to kind of step in and say, it's his choice. If he wants to stay here, then I don't think we can stop him, but if he wants a second chance, then I don't see why he can't come with us.
We'll see if we have room on the boat.
We'll make room, Freck. We might have to lose a little goblin.
Hey.
It's fine, you can sit on my shoulders.
Taffy looks between Sturkin and looks at Narcellis. Oh, sorry. Did you say something, Fred?
Nope.
I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Oh no. Oh no. I was just having a moment in my head where, that one TikTok sound that goes, "You're very brave, kid." Thank you, Barbie. Like, that's Breck right now. He's like, thank you. I get to be tall.
I get to be tall. So Taffy looks at Sturkin, then he looks at Narcellis. He gives a little huff. He's like, "You sure? Really?"
I can't really say that I blame the guy for being as pissed off as he was. Yeah, I'm sure. And besides, he still has to tell us about his toy factory.
Sturkin just looks very confused at that. What?
Yeah, your toy factory. See, we went into your house, and we found this toy, this axe, and I was like, okay, so in the basement, there's got to be this toy factory. And that's when we were like, this is what's going on. You're trying to kill the queen because she's putting taxes on toys.
Perfect.
Sturkin just stares at you, just speechless. And he just shakes his head and says, I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Sounds like the toy maker would say. Sounds exactly what like a toy maker would say when he didn't want anybody to know he was making them under other people's noses. Anyway, listen, Tef. You trusted me and Resh when, we haven't exactly been the best people. And, Gwen isn't exactly the most stand-up guy, so, tell you what, if Sturkin betrays us, I will let Resh do things to him.
So normally Taffy, so far on this whole journey, he's always like when jovialness happened, you typically would engage, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
This time he does not. However, he just kind of stares at Gwen, or not Gwen, the other one, Sturkin.
Sturkin.
Yeah, there we go. And he, but he doesn't object. He just sort of says, "All right, fair enough."
All right. And I do want him to say something to Yulia before they leave.
Okay.
He's gonna step up to you, Yulia, and reaching up, put one hand on your shoulder and kind of lean in where only you, and probably Taffy, since you're so close, can hear him talk. And he's just going to say, our guild may not have a name yet, but I'm just going to say that if you ever torture someone like that, especially in front of Ari again, you're out.
Julius is kind of speechless for a moment. But the only thing that she can really get out, and it's kind of broken, and it sounds really remorseful and a little frightened, but not like at what he said, but like something deeper. She just says, "I swear, I didn't mean to do that."
Well, you did, and we don't do that here. So, not that we can help it anyway. All right, well, as long as that's understood, and we're all in agreement that everyone's coming on a boat ride. Henry, if you could escort us out, please.
Yes. Yeah, of course. And Henry will begin leading the way down the row of cells. And I'd like everyone to roll a perception check for me.
Oh no!
No.
My
Oh,
favorite.
baby.
This is scary.
Ooh, 16.
Ooh.
Okay, Fred. Okay.
Michelle's can't see, apparently. He has no eyes.
Neither does
And
Yulia.
neither does Yulia.
So, you begin walking down the hallway that's, very dark, it's damp, a little humid down here as well, with this just odd, sour odor in the air that's been lingering ever since you all got down here. And as Henry leads the way, you walk past a few other cells, and Narcellus and Yulia, neither of you really notice as you're kind of more focused on where you're going and thinking more about how you're going to get out of here. Taffy and Vrek, you note that, some of the cells you pass that might be holding some other prisoners, you note that there seem to be quite a number of Valgard militia being held down here. No one that you recognize, but a lot of them that kind of look up very confusingly as you all walk by, especially looking at the cloaked and masked Faldvin walking with you. But no one says anything as you'll continue down the hallway. And Henry will, using the keys, unlocks a door and takes you into really what can best be described in some cases as a murder staircase. It's incredibly narrow to the point where only one person can go up or down it at a time. The steps are very steep and fairly worn here from years and years of use. And as Henry takes the lead, he'll kind of talk over his shoulder and say, so, this way will get you out of the, back entrance of the prison. Don't really know about your stuff, though. I mean, I can still go back for it if you'd like.
I would really like our stuff. I want our stuff so much, in fact.
Okay.
There's a whip that I really need.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. So if you could just go get that, that would be great.
Yeah. I'll make sure y'all get out, and then I'll go get your stuff for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And yeah, sure enough, Henry will lead you all up this staircase, which kind of winds a little to the left, to the right. And as he opens the door at the very top of it, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks. he opens the door at the top of it, and you are greeted by the suddenly almost blinding light of midday compared to the darkness of the cell that you had been inside of.
My eyes.
Yeah, basically.
Father above, below.
And
I need to make something called sunglasses in the future.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I was trying to find something here.
We'll call the brand
Here
Freck
it is.
Couture. Sell millions.
And so you come out, greeted to the site before you is mostly open, grassy areas, very well trimmed and well kept, with some sparse trees here and there. And you can see past the trees a large stone wall that you all know is the barrier for the nobles' quarter. And as you all kind of gather here outside of the door, Henry vanishes back inside, presumably to go and fetch all of your things. And as you all stand there to await him to come back, Faldvin will kind of turn to you all and he'll say, well, now that we're out of there, our best bet out of the city is probably going to be taking the northern entrance out of the nobles' quarter towards the Green Ridge. It's the closest way out.
Faldman?
Yes.
Faldman. And he'll reach out a hand as though he's trying to find where the source of the voice is coming from. And just sort of like pat the air.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, Norcellis probably can't see very
He
well at the
cannot
moment.
see a damn thing.
Oh.
And you reach out and eventually kind of feel your hand brush some cloth and pat the shoulder, and it seems like Faldvin. It's tall enough.
Oh boy. And it reaches up. He reaches up and he just like places his hand on the side of his face, not necessarily even his cheek. Like his fingers are just kind of splayed over the cheek, and he just goes, "We were supposed to be getting on a boat."
Well, he kind of like thinks about it for a moment. I mean, we can loop back around outside the city. I mean, it'll be quite a ways out of our way.
You
But
want to use the door behind your house, don't you?
yeah, unless you want to try and sneak through the rest of the nobles' quarter and then through all of the city.
Oh, I think that sounds like fun.
So much.
This is your face, right?
Yes, it's mine.
Oh, okay.
And another problem with that is like we have to find my companion.
Unfortunately, Faldvin does have a point. It would be easier for us to come back in through the city than going through the nobles' quarter with 2 drow, a tiefling, a tabaxi, 2 criminals, a goblin, and Mr. Majesty, Excellency, General Faldvin.
Faldvin sighs. And he'll just say, not only that, but the nobles' quarter is likely abuzz with activity between Gabroth preparing for his coronation and preparing to probably welcome the many guests that will be coming from across all Edavol for his
Did you
ceremony.
just say a buzz?
Yes, apparently. He sure did.
God, you're old. Alright, so the Green Ridge, I'm assuming that these are not little ridges in the ground. I'm assuming you mean the hills.
Yes, but we wouldn't actually be going out into them. We can make our way through the woods and circle back towards the docks.
Oh God, you're making me go back to the woods.
Just like it's not dark wood. It's
Excuse you.
What?
Can we just go? I can't handle. I can't handle this right now. I'd like to just go. Taffy, maybe you can lead us through the nobles' quarter. I need someone to hold my hand. I can't see.
Don't worry, I got you, buddy. Taffy will kind of hold Narcellus's hand to kind of,
If I run into any buildings, I will be very disappointed.
Well, Taffy will run into them first, so we'll both be disappointed together.
Yeah, be sure you hit all the stalls on the way there. Give them a real adventure.
Just walk in circles a couple times.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I moved.
Oh, sorry. I was just messing with something there.
shifting.
We should also wait for our stuff to come back.
Oh, sorry, I might have done that on accident, Taffy. Sorry, World 20's being weird.
Out. I was like, oh no, I didn't know.
No, it's okay. Did you, I'll say then, did you have something you wanted to say or do?
I'm going to wait until I have a moment away from sort of the rest of the party with Faldvin. I have some questions I want you to ask him.
Ooh.
If the rest of the party
Okay.
is distracted while we're waiting, then Taffy might push him sort of aside.
Sure. Let me see. Hold on.
Actually,
1 second.
I was gonna say, if you want privacy, Yulia,
Oh, hi.
I believe you were asked by a certain dead person to give Narcellus some things.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Oh,
Also, okay, go ahead and do that.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll say Yulia, you approach Narcellus, and Taffy, you kind of take the moment to pull Faldvin aside. But I'll go ahead and start with Yulia then. So what's Yulia doing?
Okay, so kind of we'll just say you just kind of remembered, oh yeah, the petals. So she kind of digs them out of the pouch where she would make sure they didn't get crushed by anything she had, and she'll kind of sit them in one hand and put another hand over it, just almost like to keep the wind from accidentally taking these petals away. And she'll walk up to Narcellus and say, before Yavari, before she died, she gave me these, and she'll kind of reach these pairs of hands over to him, waiting for him to receive it, basically.
He does not see what you're doing.
Right, I almost forgot. Okay, so then she'll say, would you mind holding out your hand for me?
That depends what's being put in it.
She gave me petals to give to you.
You can see visible confusion on his face, but he holds out his hand regardless.
Jabari also says that she's sorry.
I remember that part.
Okay.
She'll make contact with him. So she'll kind of put the one hand that was covering under his, and then gently tilt the petals into it, and then cover his fingers over it so that he has it. And she'll say she also wanted to say, or tell me to tell you that she was sorry.
So she's sorry, and she's giving me flower petals?
There's a moon petals, Narcellus.
He can't see it!
Why does he have to be a blind bitch?
Oh my god.
Listen, he's doing his best up here.
Where these petals are what do these petals look like again?
They're a sort of, if I remember correctly, they're like a silvery white color, kind of almost shaped like a crescent moon. As like they just have kind of that natural curl to them.
Okay, so then she'll say, I've never seen petals quite like that. You don't really see them. Well, I mean, there's white flowers, but you don't quite see any of them almost perfectly moon shaped.
Oh, they're moonflower petals.
Oh, so you know what they are?
Yeah, they're flowers that if you use the petals in spells or potions, they let you contact members of the dead.
How did she get these?
I don't want to talk about it right now. If we
Oh.
could just hold this off until later.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And he will very carefully try to put them in his pocket.
And you do so. You pocket the flower petals. Excuse me.
I love that Aoife just ran off with theirs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, she sure did.
And
Well,
Just a side quest to
no,
go get him.
goodness.
So Yulia does know that Narcellus can't see her, but she's kind of quiet for a moment, and she says, I am also so sorry for the dungeon. I don't even know what happened, honestly.
Well, I am not going to tell you that it's okay. But I will tell you that you need to apologize to Renarian.
I will.
Ari was a victim during the Dark War of my sister. And while he does not talk about it, and you should not ever let him know that I told you, he told me that he was tortured.
Oh. Okay. I'll talk to him.
Where's the goblin?
The goblin is looking at shiny things in the notebook district.
Oh no.
Just peeking over the corner like,
Yeah. Frank is minding his own business, but also very much not minding his own business at like the shiny things that are out and about.
Actually, Vrek, roll a perception check for me.
Oh no.
I don't even look. Okay.
Yeah, you're just like kind of peeking around one of the walls, peering, more into the nobles district proper, and you're just curious about what's here in the supposedly wealthy part of the city, and you see way down a ways down the road that leads up to the castle, you see that there's this giant dragon statue made of this glistening red rock that kind of towers over anything else in the area, even any of the large manors and estates that make up this area of the city. And you see a lot of people are kind of gathered around it or walking around it. And it appears that there's a couple of workers setting up some wooden stands at the base of it at the moment.
Frank wants to wander off, but also he doesn't want to get separated from the group. So he's gonna kind of just turn around and look at Fulton. Be like, hey, Faltman, why have people gathered around that statue? Is it something important?
Oh wait,
The-
I thought Falvin was with Taffy.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
you're
I was
right,
about to say,
Phil.
yeah, he's
Right.
yeah.
He's being
So,
quizzed.
He yeeted himself out of the
But-
existence.
It's fine. But
Cool.
so while Yulia is passing on these petals to Narcellis, Taffy, you pull Faldvin aside, and well, say what do you do or say to him?
Okay. So he looks
Oh.
over his shoulder and he sees the whole moment going on there, and he's like, all right, now's a good time. So he turns back to Falvin, and he starts by saying, all right, look, I need to get some clarification. All right, you killed the queen, right?
And you kind of see his shoulders like lower a little bit as he's currently wearing the mask that Narcellis had given to him. He says, yes, I did.
Okay, then I need you to give me an answer. Were you coerced? I need to know why you did it. Were you forced? And don't give me any of this, I did it because I had my reasons. I need to know. You need to tell me.
And he pauses, kind of thinking over his answer. And he finally will say, I'll try to keep it brief. I guess it started with, you probably weren't very aware of it, but Minister Yakan used to make, frequent trips to my estate. I considered the man an acquaintance. He was fine enough. But, after a while, and I'm only realizing this now in hindsight, that he was trying to feed into a lot of my paranoia from the war. And after meeting you, Narcellis, and everyone else, I couldn't help but get worried, I guess, that something was going on, that the Underdark was planning this attack. So I went to Queen Mjarnin, and I raised my concerns with her that, something may be going on. And she told me that to sate my bloodlust, as she so put it, that we can start by ridding Valgard of all of the drow within the fishing district, and that I should start with the... I'm paraphrasing, but something along the lines of starting with the shadow that's been lurking within my estate.
So she insulted you and you flew off the handle.
She threatened Narcellis, and I flew off the handle. Yes.
So he slowly took this all in, but he's kind of got a little scowl on his face. And he continues on. Yeah, well, you created an orphan in the whole process. So let me be very crystal clear here. I'm helping you because I'm helping Narcellis. That wasn't the answer I was hoping for, but it's the one I'm going to get. So here's how we're going to deal with this. We're going to be amicable, all right? We're going to be co-workers. And the only reason we are is because I'm friends with Narcellis, and I would like to see, help out Narcellis. And as long as I'm helping out Narcellis, I'm helping out you. Now, if this ever changes for whatever reason, let's say you need, Narshillis no longer wishes to help you out, then we stop being coworkers. And when we stop being coworkers, we're going to have a problem. All right, you understand?
And Baldwin just nods his head, says, very well. I mean, I have no intention of trying to harm you all further.
Well, that's good. I hope you keep it that way. Something else, you're gonna need to make it up to the Queen's daughter. Do you understand me? Now, I don't know how you're gonna go about doing that, but you're a smart man. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I'm sure I will.
Great.
I love this new Taffy. I'm sorry.
Now, if we could just avoid any future anger problems, we should be good to go. Okay?
And Baldwin is kind of quiet at that for a moment. And he'll just say, God. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Give me 1 second.
I'm throwing curveballs, alright? I'm in a spicy mood tonight.
You, Taffy, sure do be spicy.
He do.
And Baldwin kind of stares at Taffy for a long moment. And then he'll say, maybe raising his voice just a slight bit, he will say, I only got angry because she threatened. No,
People get threatened. Oh, okay, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. But actually, no. Go ahead, Taffy.
Okay, so he'll cut him off as like, people get threatened all the time. All right? You don't need to go and start a whole ass war just because somebody, if you need help, get help. If someone's threatening you, you leave the situation.
That was not my intention to start this.
That's what happened. We need to think about what we're doing. All right, we got to be better than we were.
And at this point, Narshellus, Vrek, Yulia, you can now pick up on this conversation. You know, you've been kind of involved speaking with yourselves. And then Taffy and Baldwin have been kind of talking quietly, but now they're beginning to raise their voices. And Baldwin will say rather curtly, I was just doing what I could to keep him safe. Yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I've messed up.
So Taffy, upon the voice being raised, he'll kind of glance over his shoulder. And he kind of looks back at Baldwin. He tries to put on kind of a smile, but it's not a good smile. He's still kind of scowling as he sort of hesitantly kind of pats his shoulder. And he goes on to say, right, well, you know, sure you were. And I'm sure you will continue to do so. We can continue later if you so like. As he kind of awkwardly pats his shoulder. And then he just sort of turns around and...
Baldwin will immediately grab your wrist.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
And he will say, do not question how I feel, Taffy.
Fine. Then just make sure you don't become a problem for the rest of us in the future.
And Narshellus is going to move forward. He's picking out the sound. Maybe not standing in exactly the right spot, but kind of looking at both of you. And he will say, "Is there a problem, Taffy?"
And as Narshella speaks up, Faldvin will release Taffy's wrist.
Taffy sort of straightens himself up. No. No problems. As he says no problems as he's sort of like looking at Faldvin.
Faldvin's like green eyes are just staring at you from behind the mask that he's wearing. And Narshella, you can about taste like the tension in the air between these two.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Taffy, I don't know what has suddenly crawled between you and the general, but maybe we can take a break here?
Taffy takes a deep breath and spins around. It's like, yeah, we've been cooped up down there, we gotta chill out a little bit.
Okay.
And it just kind of distances himself from Faldvin.
And eventually, as things begin to settle down, Henry re-arrives, bringing you all of your gear that had been stowed away, struggling as you realize he's been taking so long, as you see him come through the door, dragging behind him like a chest full of all of your shit.
This man.
Oh no.
Dang.
Maybe one of us should have gone with him.
And Henry's like, no, it's fine. It wasn't a problem, really. Because this should be all of your things, and, he'll kind of look expectantly at Narshellus.
Right. Thank you. You did a great job. I'm moving on. One more thing I need you to do.
Yeah, sure, just, name it.
Yeah, I need you to go back into the dungeon. You're going to go inside of the cell that we were in, and you're going to close the door without the keys. And then you're going to spend the next 30 minutes staring at the wall.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
here's a suggestion. What if we release the militia?
What, there were militia down there?
Oh, yeah, there was a bunch of other people locked up in cells as we were leaving.
And Faldvin's
little
eyes
strange.
immediately... Oh, sorry,
Oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
Rick.
Oh, yeah, it was a little strange to see all of the guards locked up down there.
Faldvin's eyes immediately light up as he says, well, after I got thrown in there, supposedly a lot of the military rioted against Gabroth. Actually, and he'll, turn and look at Narshellus. I believe Sypha's down there somewhere.
Nope.
Narshellus?
Nah.
Narshellus. I know you never got along.
Along.
Okay, she was... rude would be an understatement.
Okay, tell you what. You take Sypha to one edge of the courtyard, and I'll take Resh to the other side. And then we count to 3, and we let them go.
No. Look, you don't have to interact with her, but at least letting them out, they could help in some way, I'm sure.
Listen, as much fun as it sounds to have an entire army to just start ransacking the city, I don't like her.
Neither do I most days.
She's mean.
Fine. Just
No. Can we let everybody but her out?
Pullman just sighs. I mean, that might be a little odd, but
I know. Like, he'll turn, like kicking his feet on the ground a little bit. Just turns toward Henry and he's like, "Can you go let all the military guys out?"
Yeah, of course. And then should I go lock myself in the cell still afterwards and look at the wall?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. And he'll just vanish back inside.
There you go, Henry.
Thank
The
you.
lad.
Thank you for your service.
The legend.
Thank you, Henry.
Norshellis will just kind of look up at Resh in his general direction. Oh God, where is Resh?
Who are you looking for?
My brother. Please tell me he didn't wander off. He can't see either.
Oh, and she'll.
Resh.
Can I just touch your shoulders?
Me?
Yeah, yes. I can turn you in his direction.
You'll hear Resh speak up like, "Yes, I am still here."
Oh, okay, go.
They're both pointed away from each other, talking to each other.
Yeah, probably, yes.
You sound far away.
You sound far away.
I'm right here.
Where's he?
Taffy, can you escort Resh and I'll escort Narshellis, and we'll meet in the middle.
On it. And he kind of scoots his way over to Resh. Though he's a little nervous around Resh.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
should be.
you know, he's like, he goes to like sort of take his hand, but he hesitates. And he's like, you know, he doesn't really. He just kind of taps him on the shoulder. A little to your left, buddy.
And yeah, you two guide the two drow around so they at least can face each other. They're relatively closer than they were.
Okay. So Saifa is this lady. I think she's a high elf. I don't remember. She's an elf, and she has.
You hear Faldwin just say, "Wood elf."
She's
Doesn't
not
matter.
made of wood like you.
She's not.
I'm not made. Why? I am not made of wood.
So you say. Anyway.
Ugh.
So, she is this elf lady who has had it out for me since day one, and I'm pretty sure also had it out for Taffy. But listen, so she's gonna love you, like, so much.
Oh, who's he saying that to?
Talking
To Resh?
Yeah.
Oh. And Resh just gives kind of a small shrug, even though you can't see it, and he'll
Nope.
say, "Fine, if she causes any problems, I'll deal with her."
You won't be able to find her.
I can manage.
Oh, okay. And hey, Vrick.
Yeah, what you need?
Can you come here for a minute? I can't see you, but I need your help.
Okay. And he just kind of waddles on over.
Nershellis is going to pick Rek up under his arms,
Oh my god.
kind of grapple for him and find him, and then lift him up to sit him on his shoulders, and say, "You're gonna tell me where to go."
Oh. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for your trust, I guess. Let's go.
Better a goblin than an elf.
You're not wrong.
Wow.
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 Can't wait for
And,
Henry to just give us a whole military.
But
army.
for right now, while Henry has left you all, you're now going to have to try and find your way out of the nobles' quarter and either down to the docks or perhaps somewhere in the city to find the rest of your party plus Vrek's companion that he has spoken of. And as you all begin to perhaps discuss amidst yourselves to figure out your next course of action, that is going to be where we have to call it for the night.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, you sound tired.
Are we? Yeah.
no, you good?
But hey, this was fun
Yeah.
as always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taffy putting on the big boy boots.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, I was hoping for a better answer. We got all right.
You
It
know,
was,
sometimes the truth isn't all that exciting.
yeah, it's
No,
okay.
that I mean,
It was
you might
exciting.
get
It
a,
was just
I was gonna say you might get a better answer when we're not like in the middle of the castle grounds.
okay.
Yeah. You know.
It had been eating at Taffy for the whole time. He was like, please
Aw.
be coerced or something. Oh, charmed.
Yeah.
All right,
But,
yeah, it's okay. Listen, everyone's just
yeah.
pushing Taffy's button. Taffy's buttons had been pushed.
They sure have been.
Mm-hmm.
But,
He'll be better. He'll be back to his old Taffy self once they get off of Valkar, just entirely.
Yeah. But yes, thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all coming. And thank you to everyone in chat who's joined us for the evening. It's always fun to have you here with us. But for now, thank you all. Have a good night, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Later.
So,
Bye-bye.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh boy.
Oh, baby. Become excellent. Okay, so there we go. Man, that poor princess got orphaned because the elf got mad. But we have a Starkin and a Gwen, and we have a bunch of people we're shakily trusting right now as part of our. Man, this is gonna grow great. I'm sure no one will stab anyone in the back. This will be great. Trust issues, here we come. All right, well, I do appreciate everyone who stopped by tonight. Hope you had a fantastic time. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thanks to all the people who stopped by. Do appreciate. We'll be back to our normal stuff this week, probably. Hopefully. Yeah, exactly. This is fine. Excellent. But until then, I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Keep having a fantastic weekend. Until Monday, I will see you all later. Take it easy and stay safe out there in those Fey wilds.